Joining us now on Bucky and BK, he is third-year edge rusher at the University of Texas, Ethan Burke. And our weekly conversations with Ethan are brought to you by our friends at Real Truck, the #1 truck accessory brand in the United States, with top-selling upgrades for the ultimate tailgate party, hitch grills, powered coolers, weatherproof awnings, and so much more. Gear up for the final months of football season and bring your truck to life over at realtruck.com. Ethan, thanks as always for the time, my friend. How are you?
Man, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me back, guys.
Good to be with you again this week, man. Everything we talked about just about last week before that Florida game kind of came to fruition. We talked about a fast start, you guys getting up early in the morning and ready to go. And boy, it was all good last week. I know last week is last week, but that had to be fun for the football team, for the defense, for the offense, for the entire squad.
Yeah, it was just a fun game to be a part of, I think. Like I said last week, the early start, I think, is an advantage for us. I'm not sure how many teams do the early start, but for us, it's definitely an advantage, and we try to use it in that way.
Yeah, why is that, Ethan? Because you guys have played two 11 a.m. games this year, and I think they've been your two most complete performances of the season, with the win at Michigan back in week 2 and obviously what y'all just did against Florida. I know you guys practice in the morning, but it's got to be more than that. Why are y'all so comfortable with those early kickoffs?
Yeah, I mean, dude, one thing for me is just not waiting around all day and getting up and getting it on. We're ready to battle at any time. That's one thing for sure. But I think we practice so early that the wake up doesn't get to us really.
Yeah, I mean, I got to believe that. I mean, like my partner here, that dude could probably get up early, but he's going back to bed. And for you, once you're up, that's it. I mean, you don't ever slide back to the room, to the apartment and stuff, and then go back to sleep, do you? I mean, even if you've got class later on that day or something later, when you're up, huh?
Yeah, dude. When I'm up, I'm going. Maybe sneaking a nap every once in a while
There you go.
before class or something. But other than that, dude, especially on game days, once we're up, dude, and it's 11 a.m. kick, we're rolling.
Yeah. All right. Quick sidebar, Ethan, since you brought up the nap. Are you a believer in the power nap? Do you take those?
I'm not, dude. If I'm 30 minutes is too little. If I'm going to take a nap,
There you go.
I want it to be efficient for me and gain something out of it. I don't think I gain anything from the 30 minutes. I just wake up more tired.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, Ethan, want to ask you about Trey Moore, the UTSA transfer, of course, plays the same position as you. It's been kind of an up and down year for him, but he really had a breakout game against Florida this past Saturday. Just what's it been like being teammates with Trey Moore? What have you learned from him, and how cool was it to see him kind of perform the way that he did against the Gators last week?
Yeah, he brings a lot to our room. Being around him is great. He's a great personality. He's great in the locker room. And last week, he really had a good game and got a sack, had a few tackles for loss, especially at the beginning of the game. So it was great to see, really.
Yeah, I mean that competition brings on that's a certain kind of competition when you do that. It's people don't understand that. They're always thinking that you wish the guy well, but truly I've been around now that I've been around Texas and players and athletes that go to the University of Texas. There's never seems to be any ill will. I mean, Mac Brown started this a long time ago. There seems to be a brotherhood of this university with players. They don't do anything but wish their other buddy well. In other words, they know that they just will fight just a little bit harder to get more time, but they don't ever wish anything ill on anybody else.
Yeah, certainly. We're around each other all day, every day.
Yeah.
So you really get to know a person and understand who they are and if they're going through anything. I know there's people going through stuff on our team all the time, but just knowing that they try to focus on us and our team, I think that means a lot to me for the most part, because I know there's real struggles in real life, but we're trying to focus on a goal as a complete team, and that's really what makes us one.
I like that. Texas Edge Ethan Burke is joining us here on Texas Sports Unfiltered. And of course, our weekly conversations with Ethan are brought to you by our friends at realtruck.com. All right, Ethan, coming up this weekend, a trip to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas. This is a huge rivalry. Now, for you and I, younger Texas people, the hatred for Arkansas might not be as strong with us as it is for some of the previous generations. Just curious, though, inside those walls down at Moncrief, Have you guys been talking about the rivalry at all, or has it just been like, here's the next team that we have to play?
Yeah, I think a lot of the outside noise is that it is a rivalry, and based on what I've heard from the past and when they were in the same conference together, it certainly was, and I think we'll be able to renew that. And I think the year before I got here, we went down there and we didn't handle business and it didn't go our way, and we've brought that up a little bit. But Fayetteville, I mean, I got friends in Fayetteville, and they're already texting me, so that's just been driving me. And I bet everyone else from the area has friends there, and they're talking crap to them already.
Yeah, that's going to be special. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
The last week with the quarterback from Florida being banged up, it was a two-way street for you guys, which got to get prepared for. And I've got sort of a same kind of scenario coming up again this week. They've got a pretty good quarterback. They really can get out of the pocket, make some things happen. Big kid, strong arm, but really great with his feet, athleticism. But he's been banged up. Now he's had another extra week off. But is his preparation for two different guys, or is it all just the same preparation? I got to believe you're preparing for two different kind of quarterbacks.
Yeah, we have been. I think we're expecting that one guy to come in and play. So
yeah,
that's been the main focus. We've had guys come down and run scouts and quarterback who are faster and more athletic, rather than our typical scouts and guys who are just better throwers.
Yeah, Ethan, I think it will be Taylon Green who starts for Arkansas, but not really specific to Taylon Green, but just for your position. Like, how much tougher is it for you guys in that edge room to contain a dual threat quarterback versus just going up against a traditional pocket passer?
Yeah, this is the new age quarterback. Really, you have to be able to move with your feet. He is definitely, I would say, more of a runner than a passer to say, but for us, we got to squeeze the pocket and keep him contained and not let him be able to use his feet. That's the main emphasis for us this week. So if we can keep him in the pocket and not allow him to do that, and we've come up with some pretty good stuff so far, so I think we're going to be able to do that.
Is that one of the main focuses that you have to have as an outside rusher, as a defensive end type of guy, that you got to play within the framework of what you're supposed to do in the defense? Because I know there's got to be times where you think that you got enough makeup speed that, this quarterback's not going to break contain. If he does, I'm going to run him down. I mean, is that in your mind, keeping that close shoulder and not giving that up where that guy can get to the outside of you? Or is there every once in a while where you'll get lulled to sleep and say, oh, no, I got him. He's not going to – I can still catch up to him?
Yeah. So it's such a vital part of what we do and being complete as a defense. We have our job, and our job's not to lose contain majority of the time. So for us, like I said earlier, squeeze the pocket, and then sometimes you see that inside move and you want to take it, but
yeah,
you can't. You gotta stay disciplined and stick to the defense.
Yeah.
They'll cheer you on if you make that play, though.
They certainly will. I know. It goes through my head so quickly, and I'm like, oh, I should do it. This would be awesome. But
no,
you got to respect sometimes.
You're trying to get cheered. You're trying to get the ladies. You're trying to get all that stuff. You got to go make a play. What are you doing out there, dude?
It's not as bad as getting ripped by PK, man. Come on.
There you go.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a coach, I guess, right there.
Yeah.
Ethan Burke joining us here. Our conversations with Ethan brought to you by our friends at realtruck.com. Ethan, just curious, because this will be a hostile environment. Now, you guys have been great on the road. As a team, you guys have won 9 straight true road games dating all the way back to your freshman season in 2022. I'll ask you about road success in a second, but just curious, what's the toughest atmosphere that you've ever played in, whether it was high school or in your first 2.5 seasons at Texas? What's been the toughest crowd or toughest place that you've had to play?
So for me, I think Alabama last year was loud, but it was more fun for me. It wasn't necessarily tough, I would say. K-State too was pretty tough my freshman year, but Alabama or K-State, one of those. We know going on the road, we know how it is. But we think we're road warriors, and we're just there to handle business, nothing else. We're getting on the plane, we're going, and we're coming right back. We want to get out of there as soon as possible. Who doesn't want to come back to Austin, Texas? Let's be real.
Yeah.
A lot of talk about business trip, I guarantee you, this week.
Yeah, that's all it is, right? Like
That's it.
We're looking at it as a SEC championship game. We need to win to make it there. So that's our goal. It's all business.
Yeah, who doesn't want to get back to Austin, Texas, and who doesn't want to leave Manhattan, Kansas as fast as they can? I think both of those are fair questions. So you mentioned it, Ethan. I mean, it's that business-like mentality. Is that it? Like 9 straight true road games is incredibly impressive. You guys are 2-0 in those true road games this year. If you include the Oklahoma game, obviously a neutral site, but it's 3-0 away from Austin. Like what makes you guys just sort of feed off of the opposing crowds the way that you've been able to do for multiple seasons now?
Yeah, I'm not sure about everyone else, but for me, I love being on the road. There's something about everyone in there hating you, and it's you against the whole – it's however many of us, 75, whatever it is, 80, against that entire stadium. And I feel like I thrive on that, and I thrive on that energy they're giving towards me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be – I mean, it's a lot of fun on the road because it's just you and your group. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And, it doesn't matter if it's the bus ride, if it's the bus ride from the airport – back to the airport, back to the hotel. You just feel like everybody on the outside of that bus hates you. They just everything about you. So it's kind of fun.
They do. And we're expecting that in Arkansas. We know I've heard crazy stories about their fans. I got some crazy friends who go to school there. So I wouldn't expect anything less from
there you go.
Yeah, like kind of following up on that, you mentioned earlier that you've had some Arkansas buddies sending you some texts, talking some trash earlier in the week. Look, I won't ask you to read all of your texts, but what kind of stuff have they been sending you?
Man, those kids, they just want to talk. They just want to say something. But they're fake Arkansas fans, man. They grew up in Austin. They're truly UT fans at heart, and they know it.
Oh yeah,
they know it, dude.
Yeah, there's one thing Texas kids and Arkansas kids have in common is that they both applied to Texas. It's just some of them couldn't get into Texas.
They couldn't get in. If they got in, they'd be here, man. I can guarantee that.
Just like that. Ethan Burke joining us here, brought to you by RealTruck.com. Hey, Ethan, I saw you tweet either earlier today or earlier this week. I can't remember, but I know you've been doing some work in the community and specifically with the Marbridge Foundation. I'd love to kind of hear what you've been doing with them and what that experience has been like for you so far.
Man, the Marbridge Foundation was outstanding. It was mentally disabled adults who live at the Marbridge Foundation. We got to go play basketball with them, and a few of them knew who we were. And they go to a lot of the Texas games, and that was awesome. Another one I did the other day was I went to Austin School for the Deaf, and I know a little sign language. I've taken it a few times. I've had some troubles in it, believe me, but I've taken it. So going there and really being able to like communicate with those kids and just socialize with them and try and motivate them for the game. I went to their game. They were crushing. They play 6-man football. So that was my first time watching. It was awesome to see, really.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They are good, dude. They won the state championship in 2020.
Yep.
And I think they just got the top seed in playoffs for 6-man, I believe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really cool to see. All right, couple more from me, Ethan. One football and then one not football. I already know what your answer to this is going to be, but I'll ask it anyways to see if I get an honest answer instead of the answer your coaches are telling you to give me. CFP rankings. They came out last night. You guys are number 3, the highest ranked team in the SEC. Do you care? Do you pay attention to that? Does that motivate y'all? Or is it just we don't need to pay attention to that stuff?
Nah, man, me personally, I don't, because they tell us not to, but I just don't. I've been ranked highly in my career, like in high school and on the teams I'm on, and we haven't met those expectations before, and we've really failed. And then there's been times we've been ranked super high and we do. So right now, I don't think it means anything, honestly, because the season's not over with. The only thing that matters is winning the national championship. What is it, January 20th, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing that matters.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly that one day at a time. right now. I mean, it's very similar as we said after you lost to Georgia. Every day, every time you get on the football field, it's about getting better. It can't be anything but that, because you can't control what happens 2 weeks from now. You can only control what happens at the moment. So that's the only place you can be, is at the moment. We can do all the talking about, college football rankings and everything else, but for you, it's about being in the moment. So you have to continue to stay there. That is hard to do, because you got a lot going on during the course of 24 hours. So, and you got a lot of people in your ear asking you questions and everything else. So staying in the moment is pretty difficult, brother.
No, it is. That's just media. They have to make money some way. So keep the people entertained. And for us, it's just get back to business, ignore that, and focus on our job right now. So I love what you just said.
Yeah, not a personal shot at us, Ethan. At least we're not going to take it as a personal shot at.
But if you'd like to pay us more, that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, last thing before we let you go. I know a couple of weeks ago we asked about pregame meals, and you said you love a steak before a meal. That's great. But you're an Austin kid, grew up here, obviously still live here. Give me a restaurant or a couple of restaurants. Like, if you ever get some time to actually go out to eat, what are some of your favorite go-to spots around town?
Man, so the other day, I have to tell you all this. I went to Perla's, and I'm big on. I go to Shoal Creek, and they have good oysters, but I went to Perla's, and these were the best oysters I think I've ever had. And I got some lobster pasta. Best place ever. Really, dude. It was next level. I love South Congress, man.
Wow. Was that your first time there?
It was my first time.
Okay. All right. I love it. Yeah, we're big Shoal Creek Saloon guys. We actually do our pregame show for road games at Shoal Creek. So we're fans of that spot, but Perla's is yeah, solid too. Solid too. Well, Ethan, always enjoy our conversations, man. Thanks so much for your time. Best of luck this weekend in Fayetteville, and bring back a dub, and we'll talk next week.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Ethan. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em, baby. Hook 'em.